feels that $1.3 million is appropriate based upon their review of the township finances, then that's acceptable.
Should they not attach amount to that motion? was my
They
question.
did.
Okay.
They
I
did.
did not hear him
$1.3
say that.
million. Doug read it in the motion.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
I didn't either. I didn't hear it either.
Actually, I think Ms. Croft even brought it up.
Take action to pay the township bills. I'll make a motion to pay township bills.
I'm going to be subject to the bond.
We got 6 supervisors now?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Doug?
Excuse me, don't you need more than one signature to sign bills, as bank checks?
That was established at the reorganization meeting.
Are 3 signatures on record at the bank?
Yes, but only 3. I don't know, do we need to review hers as treasurer?
That's the fact.
I don't know, I just want to ask the bank.
I'm sure we need to record her and know that she's the treasurer now.
I want so that yes, she will. We do these signature parts. There, yes. Yes, you need to resign.
Ms. Croft?
No.
Mr. Shingle?
No.
Mr. Fiddler?
Yes.
Ms. Hine?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes. Departments, code enforcement. Engineer, he's not here.
What did you guys just approve? We cannot hear. I can't imagine if I can't hear that the people back there can.
They didn't do anything.
You mean
You
a
guys
minute
have to
ago?
speak up. Stand up if you have to.
You
Speak
mean a
up.
minute ago?
Just the last motion. I
They
know.
pay bills.
they motioned to pay the bills and it passed 3-2. I know you'll be shocked.
Back up to where you were paying the bills and who's signing, because we didn't do that either. Who's signing to pay bills?
Apparently Tammy would have to sign up with the bank as the treasurer, and then that would only leave 2 of us to be able to sign checks.
So Mr. Fiddler and Mr. Martin, their paperwork went in, the bank was closed today. So I will call tomorrow to see what we need to do.
Well, wait a minute, doesn't the township secretary send in the letter to the bank?
You have to go to the bank.
No, but when we had our names put on as signers, we had to take a letter from Sharon saying, as the secretary, that we were duly elected supervisors, and that's how we did it. My question was, who gave the letter to the bank?
I do, as the office supervisor, that way we can keep things rolling in this township.
Fire. Your report, Eric?
Who? I don't think I pushed them.
Huh?
I'm not first on reports.
Already went to code enforcement engineer. You're next.
Well, I do have the annual report 2019 from the fire department, and I'll go over some highlights of it with all of you. Those reports obviously are for each of you, so you can take any time to read the whole thing if you so choose. I'd like to direct you to some of the highlights. The first being on page 4 of the report. I'd like to point out in the first paragraph that the national average of annual cost per capita for fire protection is $113. Our organization provides that service for $24 per capita, saving realized by the community due to a volunteer fire department of 79%. Page 6. Page 6 and page 7 talk about the responses of the fire department and how we utilize our time and take care of things. We did respond to 335 calls for service in 2019. We held 16 trainings, 127 work details, utilized over 5,100 man hours. A breakdown of those calls by nature of incident were 10 structure fires, 12 mobile property fires, 5 natural vegetation fires, 1 other type fire, 94 emergency medical service or quick response unit calls, 55 vehicle crashes, 2 other rescues, 54 hazardous materials or condition calls, 73 calls that are other, 29 false alarm or false calls for the total of 355. On page 8, you see a general listing of our income and expenses for 2019. We did maintain our budget at $75,000 in 2019, and as you can see from our income, that our fundraising activities, we were able to exceed that amount with that, along with the state grant that we cannot obviously count on. We do list the municipal donations at $25,000, resident donations at over $26,000, corporate donations at $3,000. We brought in for our department almost $7,000 from billing. Fundraising activities was $62,000, and our federal and state grants were $16,687. Our expenditures were insurance costs, $14,637, $1,400 in fuel, $8,700 in utilities. Building maintenance was $25,711. That included having to reside a portion of the building at a build of about $21,000, $22,000. So there's a large portion of that maintenance cost on the building. Vehicle maintenance at $4,500. We did make 1 vehicle purchase for $10,995 and $10,020 worth of new equipment that was replaced. Equipment maintenance was $10,440. That was the replacement of outdated or broken equipment or fixing of same. Loan payments, we paid $17,957 on our loans, and we spent $2,500 in our office for a total of $107,000. The grants that we did obtain were a $12,172.45 from the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency for debt reduction, and $3,975 also from FEMA under the Unconventional Gas Well Grant for firefighting foam applications. On page 9, it lists obviously our 10 structure fires, which I've already talked to you about. 9 of those were as automatic mutual aid to other departments. 1 structure fire in our primary response area cost $45,000 in damage. Our total fire loss in 2019 was $280,000. That included the structure fire and 1 road freight vehicle. And the total value of property placed in danger was $426,000. Percentage of structure fires in our primary response rate contained the area orders was 100%, and we had 0 injuries, civilian deaths, or firefighter lost time injuries in 2019. As I know some of you are familiar, maybe all of you aren't, that we do, in conjunction with the Claysville Volunteer Fire Department, contracted with Fire Recovery USA to bill for services provided on certain types of incidents. Our primary rescue services at crash scenes is primarily what we bill for. This is due to the fact that over 20% of our call volume is on the interstate system, and it's a transient population. We don't feel that our 27 or 2,800 residents of Donning Township should have to pay to protect those people out there. So we have contracted with Fire Recovery USA and with an ordinance from the township that allows us to bill for those services. We do bill their insurance on those services. If there is a resident of the township who gets billed and it goes to their insurance doesn't pay it, they don't get a bill personally. People outside of our community, people who are not residents of Donald Township, they receive a bill. If their insurance doesn't pay, then they're responsible for that amount. In 2019, There were 48 claims billed, 15 claims were paid for a total of $13,978, half of which went to the Claysville Volunteer Fire Department. We maintained our ISO rating, and we had another ISO inspection in 2019, and our rating was remained at a class 5/5X. And on page 11, the last paragraph, we talk about the NFPA 1720 response time standard for rural fire companies. And their standard is for those companies to arrive on scene within 14 minutes of the time of the call, at least 80% of the time. We have exceeded that standard by arriving on scene in our primary response area with the appropriate personnel within 14 minutes, 92.8% of the time. In fact, we arrived on scene with the appropriate personnel for all calls, including mutual aid calls to other people's areas, 82.6% of the time. And our average response time to all emergent incidents was 8 minutes and 6 seconds. If you have any questions about anything in the report after you guys take a look at it and have time to digest it, obviously I'm available to answer those questions.
Thank you, Eric. Water and sewage?
So, we had a DEP inspection, and we had a few small write-ups that John's going to be getting to me, what they are. It's mostly on reporting. Reporting standards have changed. We get this inspection every 5 years, so we just have to do a little bit more reporting. As far as the office, I have them in there to answer phones, to answer people's questions. We do have resumes that came in that we'll be talking to the board about. I would like to make a motion though for the auditors, and the motion would be to establish an accountant copy of the QuickBooks with the end date of December 31st, 2019, along with assigning a password of their choice. The accountant copy which doesn't allow any correcting entries or adjustments to that period until the completion of the 2019 audit. This will allow the auditors to work with a copy of the financials while the business continues in 2020 within the office. So I would like to make that as a motion. That way the books can be audited.
What about the audit that needs to be done for Sharon? Who needs to request?
The chairman of the board of auditors is formally requested. But that doesn't stop business, they can do it anytime.
They just said the chairman of the board of auditors needs to request the audit from Sharon.
Which is why she's setting this up.
That's why I set up the idea of this. That way it stops any correction, so that they can come in and do the audit.
That's what the code says that the board has to reflect
The chairman, it says the chairman, I'm assuming that's under the auditor section, so the chairman of the auditors can make the request, or we can request, it doesn't matter. Either way, the point of this motion is to put a stopgap in the QuickBooks so that an audit can be done. So that if there's any changes after, nothing can be changed after that certain date.
But there are 2 audits that need done, correct?
Do them all together.
the chair. I know that she came to work 2 days after the organization was getting checks from them.
Who's had access to those in the last month?
Go past January 3rd.
No, not that
Yes.
I saw.
Checks?
Did Sharon pay any bills, write any checks on that one day she was here?
No, only the ones that were done on the 6th.
I mean, just to answer your question, under section 901 of the second class township code, it says, upon the death or resignation of any of the officials designated in this section to be audited, which that would include the township secretary, the board of auditors upon call of the chairman, shall meet and audit the accounts of the former incumbent and determine the compensation of the successor, if so authorized by the secretary. It's, honestly, it's ambiguous to me, but either way, it doesn't matter because they're asking for it anyways. And I think we're the one that made mention of it at the last meeting. So the point of this motion is to establish those records.
So somebody just needs to.
You have a motion to do that second, yeah?
I made the motion for the QuickBooks password and for the account cost.
Here's what access to those accounts in the last month. So what's been done up to now?
Those checks that you see in front of you. Those reports.
If they have been entered into QuickBooks?
Well, there was state insurance liable for anything that happened.
Yeah, I guess that's the
She hasn't been
question.
audited yet?
There is an auditor's trail that was printed and sent to the auditors to show anything that happened. It gives, all QuickBooks is time, there's a time stamp and date stamp on every entry. It tells you every time an entry is changed, removed, deleted, and this audit trail cannot be removed out of QuickBooks. That has been sent to the auditors today.
I just trying to protect Sharon.
Okay, then why did you make the motion that you did?
Because this stops any correcting entries until they're done. So that means that nobody can make any correcting entries until they've audited.
But
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You just said there's no need for that because it's always
I
marked.
understand that, but that audit trail is 500 and some pages long. But this just puts a provision to stop it, and they can set the password to it. That way, then they know there's no entries being.
What normally happens, say, on a year that you guys don't fire the secretary? How does it work?
What do you mean?
I've never been involved in this vote before. That's what I'm saying. I want to know
So
why.
his question is, last year, how did you do it?
Yeah.
We didn't ask for it last year. We were obviously not aware that there was an audit trail on QuickBooks that we could have requested.
Yeah, but what did you do? We didn't pass anything like this stopgap
We
nonsense.
voted on what the office gave us.
Yeah.
So how are we?
Palermo and Kissinger did it, we did an audit copy to them. We did an accountant copy to them, which puts the stop on it.
Well, you last January, you were in charge of the office.
I am aware of that.
So I'm asking you, how did it work?
I asked that to be done, I don't know if it was done. So,
You asked for,
when they did the audit, if they're unaware of how to do the QuickBooks, it was the new auditors, it was the election auditors.
did you tell
They-
them this?
They can ask for it. Palermo and Kissinger, when they audited, they asked for it. So if the elected auditors would like, if they don't want it, then don't put it on. It's just, it was an option that I gave.
Because in the motion,
Yeah.
Is it going to be more accurate than us just going to the office and asking for this and asking for that? Is the audit trail? As far as the bank accounts are concerned, is it going to be more accurate than us just going and asking for records?
Sure, it's a copy that you guys can have and work out. You can print your own reports. You can do it yourself.
What about, like, last year, the QuickBooks was off by $18,675, but the check register showed different. Will we have access to that as well?
Absolutely, it's still in the QuickBooks.
So how are we assured that nothing was changed, that corrections were not made?
The audit trail. The audit trail prints out and it gives you a time and date stamp when every entry was done. I just sent it to the auditors today.
And Kathy, you said that you couldn't get into QuickBooks, so the only one
No, I-
was Sharon.
And I understand that. I guess the question would be why it wasn't, and Eddie's question is why was it not done last year the same way?
Yeah.
We weren't aware that it was available, and nobody made us aware that it was available.
Well, obviously
I
Tammy
certainly
knew
would
about it.
ask for it
Tammy
if
just
I
said
knew
she
it was
requested
there.
it.
She said she
She
requested.
said she requested it. That it be done.
She can't request it through the auditors.
No, she said she requested that it be done.
I guess you need to say, who did you tell?
I always explain to the secretary treasurer that these things are available in QuickBooks.
Okay.
So Sharon was aware that it was available?
I've always told her it was there. I said, there's an audit trail, and it's right there on the reports.
Well,
And the
I'm not
QuickBooks.
gonna blame her because
No,
I certainly didn't know it was available. I don't know if Kathy did or Marcy did. We didn't
Then
know
don't put it on.
was
There's an
available.
audit trail. There's always an audit trail.
Then don't, what do you mean, then don't put it on?
Don't stop the accountant then. Don't do the accountant copy.
Well, do they have to have a version of like QuickBooks on like their computers to be able to run it?
Yes.
Do you guys have QuickBooks?
I don't know what Linda and Marcy had. I do not.
QuickBooks is like $600 a year.
So most QuickBooks comes with 3 licenses. I'm sure that because we only use one, you can download it and you're allowed to have 3 copies of it. So,
And part of the issue would be, like Kathleen doesn't have. Yes, this is a problem.
so QuickBooks doesn't work on the internet. QuickBooks is an actual program that is loaded on the computer.
There's a question
I mean, if she would like to put it on, that's fine. If not, just don't put them, like I said, it's just an
I would
article.
think our audit gets easier than it was last year.
Yes. You
Quite
guys,
frankly, I have no desire to spend 100 hours on it.
it would allow you guys to, it would allow you to print and do whatever you need to do from that copy.
Tells you who made it.
Right, and it tells you who made any changes, but this will give you an account copy. You would be able to load QuickBooks onto a computer, take that copy, and you guys look at it, do what you need to do. Then if there's entries, then you bring it back to the board, and then if you can make the entries yourselves on the QuickBooks, and that copy can be interjected back into what we have here at the office. But again, it's all board decision and it's all the auditors to do.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Last year, I asked for like each line item, each account line item, to have a printout for everything that happened in that.
That's in that
Will
trail.
it be on that pocket trail?
Yes, that's what's there. Yes. That's
Did you,
fine.
I have a question. Did you
That's
just,
the most important.
Normal business practices with QuickBooks is you do assign an accountant's copy in a year. So that should be doing that.
Right.
There is such a thing as online QuickBooks. There's QuickBooks desktop, there's QuickBooks online.
We use the desktop.
What you need to do going forward is at the end of every month, you need to close the books. So nothing can no one go back and make any entries to QuickBooks from a prior month or whatever. At the end of the year, when you send the accountant copy to the accountant or whoever is going to audit that trail is very, very important because you can see every entry that was ever changed in there. So this is a good business practice to do. But as I say, going forward, at the end of the month, that should be closed every month. Usually the 15th and 20th Friday, the following month, your last month is closed. So this is a good thing. An accountant's copy is being suggested to be offered. But, just so you do know, there is an online QuickBooks that can be used. It's not that expensive to convert it online.
But I do believe that with the version we have, you're allowed 3, you're allowed 3
You are,
cards.
you're not
Yes.
three licenses, that's in 3 different businesses. That doesn't mean that you have 3 different individuals who can log into it. The
Right.
license is for 3 different businesses, okay?
So if the account has multiple accounts within that account, to this account, has different,
You're
One
allowed,
business. One
yeah.
business.
Okay.
You're allowed 3 downloads. So you would be able to download it, because it's only been downloaded on that computer. it would fall on our license still.
She can give you a password to get in there, so you can go ahead and your account. You'll have your own QuickBooks, and entry that you make, you will then submit a report to her, that says these are the following entries we have made, we will upload them into your QuickBooks. And then you merge the two QuickBooks together. That's how that works.
I have one more question. Did you say that they could change things and it would show up in the township?
No, so what happens is, they can look at that copy and they can change things, yes, on their copy. If they bring it back to the board and the board agrees with their changes and their suggestions, then yes, that can then be downloaded back into the township. So you would get their recommendations and their changes back.
And the board has to decide whether they accept
Absolutely.
them or not.
Yes.
So who's your accountant that you work with on a monthly basis? Anybody?
We don't have one.
Yep.
You have a motion and a second. Ms. Hines?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Croft?
No.
Mr. Shingle?
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Motion carried, 4-1. Parks and Rec.
The Parks and Rec have met this past Tuesday. We have a $350 deposit into our account. We do have one request that there is a light out at the fitness center. If we could ask maintenance to take care of that, we would really appreciate it. We'd also like to thank those of you who have helped us and shared our page, that we've had a very positive response about the fitness center. And also to remind you all that we do have a position open on the Parks and Rec board. If you are interested in joining us, if you could please submit a letter of interest to the supervisors. Thank you.
Where'd you say that light was out at, Jackie?
It's in the fitness center downstairs.
Okay. Police Department.
Yeah, this report is for the month of December 2019. In the month of December, we responded to, we documented 85 calls for service, 203 events. During that time, officers reported approximately 19 traffic stops, investigated 2 reportable, 7 non-reportable crashes. Officers issued approximately 14 traffic citations, 1 non-traffic citation, 3 written warnings, 2 filed criminal complaints, and 3 juvenile petitions. Total property loss for the month was $200. Total property loss recovered was $50. Patrolled approximately 3,253 miles, used approximately 236 gallons of gas. The magistrate fines collected for the month of December are on the report. In December, the code enforcement report, there's a shed set on the inside of the setback on Colgate Road, and that is to be referred to the new code enforcement officer, Mark.
Thank you. Road Department.
January, we have drug roads, patch hole, install culvert back from Field Road, put large rock in front of the outlets, clean inlets, ditch line, and snow and ice treatment as necessary. Plans are to continue to keep changing pipes on those gravel roads, one road at a time, as weather permits.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything for the public portion of the meeting. I'll reserve my report of the board for executive session.
Old business. Tabled motion, range cut and bore permits in escrow. You have anything on that? Leave on the table. conduct the meeting. Pass that, so take it off.
You find out you had it.
We can't hear you.
No.
Table motion, police wage.
Or we current, what are we currently paying?
I'd make a motion to take it off the table.
I'll second it.
You gonna do it? Huh?
I'll bring it up and talk about it. Questions whether you want to do that. So we can vote on it.
He said we have to vote on it before we can bring it up.
What is
The police wages.
It's item 3 on the, under old business on your agenda.
Mr. Martin? This is a motion to move it to the table.
Yeah, I'm not quite follow the motion, so I'm gonna
Take it off the table. Work on it.
I'm gonna delay my vote to the end.
You can't do that.
Pass it.
He's passing his vote.
Okay. Ms. Croft?
Pass the
Yes.
vote.
Mr. Shingle?
I'll pass my vote.
Yes, but we're gonna start into negotiations.
Signs?
No.
Motion does not pass.
Ask Mr. Martin, Mr. Shingle again.
Mr. Shingle, do you care to vote?
Mr. Martin was first.
Mr. Martin, do you care to vote?
I believe I'll go ahead and vote no.
Okay. Mr. Shingle, how do you?
Yes!
Okay.
What a bunch of shenanigans.